Adequate is probably the one word to describe this film. Mediocre is also another word. If you're looking for a movie that's so bad you can spend hours making fun of it, I'm sorry, there's not much to make fun of if you even remember anything. Okay, there's the visuals. There's things that are just plain awful, and the visuals are probably one of them. Because the visuals are trying to emulate life. Once again, Disney's trying to be so realistic, but the moment you add something that's not realistic, it makes the whole thing fall apart. It's sort of like a supersaturated solution. Everything disappears, but then you add like one salt crystal or one other piece of whatever salt you're using, and then the whole thing recrystallizes. Rachel Zegler did a really good job, however. She could easily blend into the background in her scenes, but she carries them pretty well. With the evil queen, I don't feel that way. The body language and mannerisms, they feel completely like the evil queen. And then there's something about the writing that feels off. Overall, I feel like this film is just middling. If you look at the budget to quality, I feel like that's the biggest insult I could give to this movie. Disney, you guys spent $300 million on a movie, and you possibly spent way more given the actual need to market this movie, only to sell me something mid and ugly. I'm also tired of this trend where Disney keeps extending the runtimes of these films only to be bad to mediocre. You would think they would learn their lesson by now, but nope. Look, adding more time and more scenes to do whatever with this cast does not make it better, because if your fundamental structure is flawed, then at this point you're just making window dressing. I feel like people walked into this movie and they absolutely wanted to rip it to shreds. Blood for the blood god. Content for the hate mills. And then they walked out seeing this thing. There's not much to say, oh, I absolutely despise everything about this movie, except the visuals. And even with the visuals, you could point to literally every other Disney remake that has come out in the past several years, showing off how ugly and poorly edited it is. So, what you get is people walking into a film, wanting to destroy it, and then walking out just bored, and then they get angry after they get over their boredom because they could not tear this movie to shreds. Really, the controversies surrounding this movie with Gal Gadot, the dwarves, the visuals, and, well, Rachel Zegler, and her remarks on the original Snow White, and whatever Disney's attitude was towards the original Snow White, I don't know. And this whole idea that the destruction of Walt's vision for the first animated film this studio has ever produced, which changed everything, is ultimately this whimper of a movie. Honestly, based off the box office numbers, I'm hoping this movie does destroy the whole Disney live action remakes thing, not with a bang, but with a whimper. Because with a whimper is probably the best way for this whole movie line to go. Those are just my thoughts. Please consider liking, subscribing, tipping the channel on Ko-fi. This is Cyril signing off.